Y vamos creciendo como traders de a pasitos.
Okay, so let's look at this thing. Beginner trader, day trader. So how many of you are actually day trader, or you're just here for like the entertainment? Looks like everybody is here for entertainment, right? Okay, so if you want to become a good day trader, right? There have been some very good day traders here over the years, like every year. I always see a bunch of new traders come in, right? And they do their things. They become profitable. I've seen the kind of monies which some of the day traders make here. I've seen their lifestyle. I have met them in person, and so I have a very good understanding about this whole concept of in a whole field of day trading because of meeting some of these people who are highly successful, and they've been consistent number of people who come in every year, and they become they are into day trading, and then they go, a new set of people come in, and again it continues and continues and continues, right? That's how it happens. So over the years there has been many day traders here. The notable one, or there have been many, but I don't personally know them, but at least some whom I studied or looked at their thing, are people like Larry F, right? PCB. Then you have Tumblr. You had people like you have a Gallic. Then you had Hip Trader, who was there for many years, right? And basically, Camo was not really a day trader. Camo was like a more swing, longer term trader, basically. Then we have our famous STKB 2009, who's been here since we started. Then Blue Sky. And Stroke Thermos. Stroke many other avatars, which you may not even know, but they are the same person. Blue Sky and Thermos were the same person. And I don't know how many more avatar he had, right? And I would not be surprised if he's still here and under some other avatar, right? And he was like that kind of a thing, right? Then to a large extent, Manish was like in a day trading in the later half of like in a recent years, more like in a day trading, right? And there are a bunch of like there are a lot of others whom I may not have mentioned because I don't know them personally or I not watched them, but these are like and now you have PK and you have these Jay Londono and all these people also, the recent crop also, all of these people, right? So we can learn or you can go and research this and learn because there are slight variation in their method, but there are commonalities. And what is the common thing which you are going to find if you are looking at this commonality is they're all like basically one commonality they will be doing is they're doing stocks in play or they will have some active list of stocks, right? Every one of them operates, means this can save you a lot of time and effort because a lot of time you're going to spend years trying to come to this conclusion or by trial and error. And most of these people came to that conclusion after trial and error also, right? So what these people have is either they focus on a stock which has a fresh news for that day, because if a stock has a fresh news for a day, right? What happens if a stock has a fresh news for the day? So on this day, right, stock had a news. Because it has a news, what happened was it traded on that day 25 million shares. There were like so many things happening. And for the day, it went up 80%. And if you look at the range, right, look at the range of that stock was around 56%. Volume comes in, there is participation. There are like there are people who are all the day traders and everybody is on that particular stock. That as a result, what happens is that it will have the volume, it will have the continuous participation and multiple opportunities to make money. It will have continuous. So that's the principle which you have to understand. You look at a lot of time, means every day I get emails from people saying, hey, EG, I'm trying to become a day trader. I don't know what's wrong with me. Here is a stock which I traded. So they would have traded, say, yesterday they would have traded G, right? Yeah, you traded G, but that's a dead stock, right? And it was a dead stock. Nobody was interested in that stock. I just took a random example, right? But they're trading some random stock. Then there is no action in that stock, right? So as a result, what you have to really focus on is stocks which are going to be active for the day, right? You traded G yesterday, but look at the professional, right? What did the professional traded yesterday? He traded Alni. Why did he trade Alni? Because of the range, right? Because of the range. So essentially, these people all, and you can research this yourself, right? And it means whatever I'm telling you today, whatever I'm telling you, right? And basically, you can find that information yourself if you go through this. I'm just trying to save you people the effort of going through, because these people make a post in a year in thousands. If you go through all these people's posts, you are going to be in a year till the next Easter, right? You're just going to keep on finding eggs. So in probably by 2024 Easter, you would have finished looking at their post, right? And so they post so much, right? So they all operate from either news play or an active list of stocks. And if you see currently, what do you think? And I have not spoken to PCB, whose real name is Prem, right? And his real name is Prem. So I have not spoken to Prem for many months now, right? But if I can take a guess, if you look at this month, what do you think? Which stock he would have made the maximum amount of money this month on? You guys are like dead, means like dead. You have no idea what you day trading is. Tesla, right? You would have made maximum amount of money on Tesla probably. All day and every day he must be trading Tesla, Nvidia, some 2 or 3 stocks, right? They find all these people, all of these people, they have 2 things, right? They have the stock, which is news play, and in the news play also, typically like what these people will do in a news play is they will play day 1, so day 2, and day 3. And before they discard, because by that time that stock becomes this thing, like the action dies down or something else catches frenzy. But in addition to this news plays, they have a staple of stocks, and this will be like a rotating list of stocks, right? Which are at this period currently in the market, right? The stocks which are in play for like in a months, for months, the stocks which are in play is Tesla, Nvidia, Google, right? And especially Tesla and Nvidia, they have been in play, right? Continuously. And they are all playing that Tesla, Nvidia, like when during the COVID-19 time, right? During the COVID-19 times, you had like stocks like you had the triple ETFs, TVIX, right? The TVIX, Tesla, Moderna, they were stocks which are like Moderna had $10, $20 range. Now it has $10, $20 range during that time period, right? Every day you could come and look at the like you could make $3, $4 easily by just trading Moderna, because it used to have $39, $40 range, right? So knowing this is extremely important. I think one of the biggest problem I see with a lot of newer day trader or those who are struggling is they are trading such obscure stock. They're trading some really obscure stock where what you need is like basically something where everybody is there. Like currently in the last 2 days, say AI is a stock where last 3-4 days, everything was happening, right? So that's where everybody is. So there is no, in day trading, being a contrarian and saying, oh, this stock is popular amongst day traders, so I'm going to like not trade and trade something else. That's not how it works. This is not value investing. This is not long-term investing. This is things which are in play, which have range, and which are making big move, and that's what you want to do, right? And that's the way they are doing stock selection. So be clear, this is how they select stock, right? Or like say, there are people, day traders, who trade only gap up and gap down stock, right? So they only look at gap ups and gap down. They are not paying attention to rest of the market. They are not like, they are just, that's their thing, right? And if you ask PCB, do you run any scam? The answer will be no, right? If you ask him, hey PCB, what is CPI? Are you worried about CPI? What will be his answer? What is CPI, right? The entire world that day, you remember, like we are having a meeting. Entire world was like in a CPI is coming, right? And PCB. So I asked a comment. I said like, let's ask PCB, is he worried about CPI coming? I asked him, hey PCB, what do you think about CPI, right? So he responds, what is CPI? I said, it's consumer price index, right? He says, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Does he give a shit about all these things which you're getting excited? No. He is just Tesla, Nvidia, Tesla, Nvidia, Tesla, Nvidia, something which is in news, right? He doesn't give a shit about all these things, right? You ask him CPI, this retail trade is coming, that is coming, Fed chairman is coming. He just doesn't care, right? He's going to be doing his game in town, which is Tesla, Nvidia, and stock in play Tesla, Nvidia. And this you can find out. This you can find out very easily, right? Look at what he's trading. Something QQQ, Microsoft, Google. Microsoft is in play currently, right? For whatever reason, Microsoft is making move. So he is in stocks which are making. He's in Baba, right? He doesn't give a shit about like any China, no China, nothing. He just now, so Baba, right? Baba. That's all. Like he's trading SPX Google now, right? So this is the common, right? And you don't have to go to some obscure trade and all. And all these, if you understand all of these people, the number one thing they look for, especially those who have like become proficient in this thing, is the number one thing they look for is a stock which has a big range. Right? They look for a stock which will have a, which has a big range. Right? Stock which will have a range of like $5, $10 in a day. So they are just looking at these stocks which are like say Nvidia, right? Currently, every day between like 275, like 273 and 280, $7 range, right? It's a $7 range. So because there is a $7 range, if he shorts this, he's going to end up making 50, 70, 80, 90 cents or $1, right? If the stocks range, okay, if the stocks range is 30 cents, right? At 30 cents, 50 cents range, what money are you going to make day trading? Tell me. You're just like it just is not going to work. It's just slippage is going to eat. But then the moment you say, tell that to people, hey, EG, but I have a very small, tiny, like really not this big, right? I have such a small, right? I have this much account, right? And I have this much, not even this much. I have only this much account, right? Yeah, but like that doesn't mean that you trade this thing, right? And the thing is that he trades with 35,000, which is not a big account. He keeps 35,000 because he needs that much for avoiding day trading rule, right? So is he trading with a large account? It's not the size which matters, right? And it's what you do with the size which matters, right? And with that 35,000 account, what wonder does he do in a month? With that 35,000 account, right? This is the kind of wonder he does in a month, right? Right? How does he do it? How many trades? 5 trades, 18 trades, 33 trades, 19 trades, 37 trades, 3 trades, 2 trades, 1 trade, 52 trades, 57 trades, 56 trades, 59 trades, 50 trades, 70 trades, 89 trades, 136 trades, right? 122 trades, 66 trades, 69 trades, 74, 98. Look at it, those numbers, right? That might be a number of trades. Sometimes I don't do in a month. That is the number of trades he does in a day, right? So when you are looking at these people's thing, try and understand. Look at this is a game like where they're doing numbers like crazy numbers, right? And then that is how this thing becomes like this is a 30 days, right? 30 days graph and see what happened, right? And basically what he did in 30 days, right? Biggest profit was 15,000 for a day. biggest loss was 8,000, and return percentage 46%, loss 52, and this thing and all. But how much money did he end up? Like, this, all these statistics doesn't matter, right? And at the end of the day, what did he end up with? Real serious dollars, right? And means like more than 100K, right? And this is not his best month, right? This is not his best month. This is by no stretch of imagination his best month. Nowadays, he must be he's doing much more than this, 100% guaranteed, because this is a old document, right? This is the older thing. And by the way, some of you who are like scrambling around, right? All over the place. This document is there on the site, right? This document is on the site. This particular document is on the site, by the way, right? Which answers many of your questions about PCB's trading, right? I accumulated all the questions about PCB. I sent him the questions and he answered these questions for me. Like, these are all the questions, right? And if you look at the questions, all these answers are there. He answered every single one of those questions, including some really silly questions people asked, and including questions people saying, can you send me exact time of your trade? Can you send me these, that? Yeah, I will send you that if you can send me naked selfies of all your girlfriends, right? And only the girlfriends who had like this thing, right? Means literally people ask, means this guy has given you, he answered all these questions. On top of that, there are people sending me emails saying, can you ask him to give me by exact entry and exit and things like that? Means somebody is going to sit and review that. Your expectations of what is going to, what information is required to make you profitable is, I just don't understand, look, and how you'll ever become profitable in that case then, right? Means like this guy answered every single one of your question here, right? Every single one of the question he's answered, right? And some of those questions were really like, means like, those people could have found those answers just by looking at his previous answers, right? So if you look at what are the common things, the reality is you can study any one of these trader, right? You can study any one of these trader in detail. What you are going to find is that this game of day trading is about news play and trading very active stocks. And not only that, right? Not only that, the game is about numbers. You look at the number of trade he's done, frequency. You might end up making only $300 on a trade, but you do it 80 times in a day. That is a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. And that is how these people play this game. Means that is the secret to, no, it's not a secret. That is how this game is played, right? That is how, and imagine, look at many of the professional day traders, they work in a proprietary firm. So they have unlimited not unlimited, but they have like in a much higher capital, this thing, right? And they have access to millions of dollars capital. This guy is trading his own account, right? He's a single person, means like I don't know whether he's married or not. I think he's married, but like he's trading his single. He doesn't have an access to anything else than 35,000, which he puts in, right? And he does this 120, 130,000, like kind of a thing, right? So he's not using anybody else's money. He's just doing this thing with that kind of a thing. What is the secret? He's developed the skill. Okay, he developed the skill. How many years did it take him to do this? How many years did it take him? First 5 years, right? First 5 years or 6 years, first 5 years, He blew up 4 or 5 accounts. He blew up 4 or 5 accounts, 5 accounts, I think he said. You can check in that document also. He blew up like in a 5 accounts of 30K. He blew up 5 accounts of 30K. And then once he hit it, he just hit it out of the park, right? And now he's hitting out of the park. And this guy is giving you a free tutorial, right? He's giving me a free tutorial in how to do it, right? That other guy, STKB 2009, gives you a free tutorial in how to do it. And what is the number one request which I get from people? To ban them. Oh, the timeline is all becoming day traders. These people are dominating. Why don't you ban PCB and STKB 2009? They had no value, right? Means they had no value because you don't understand. A person who is showing you how to convert 35,000 into 100,000 in a month is adding no value, right? It's unbelievable what people's expectations are about how they're going to learn. You learn by seeing these people do this, right? And in real time. So what is the setup? Then if you understand this, right? And that first is like their stock selection is the key, right? All these people, yeah, they have their, means people have personal agenda. People have their own like unrealistic expectations and things like that, right? And basically, so what is the thing? What is the idea which like, let's take PCB. What is the idea which is trades? It's a very simple idea which is trading, right? If you ask him, he will say TTT, TT and T. There is no FINRA rule about like using same funds and things like that. And I don't know which country you are in. There is no regulation like that. You can trade 300. You can do a 300 turns in a day. You can do 6,000 turns in a day. Nobody is going to come and ask you any question, right? What does he look for? Primarily, if you look at his setups idea, right, and which is also there here, it's not even difficult, right? And always he's looking for this. He's looking for consolidation. He's looking for tight consolidation, right? Tight consolidation intraday on a 5-minute chart. He uses 5-minute chart, right? And he uses 5-minute chart. He's looking for tight consolidation on a 5-minute chart. And then a breakout. He buys a breakout basically, right? Sometimes he'll buy in the consolidation itself, breakout, right? So that's the thing, right? And basically he's looking at a consolidation and looking at things. That's his setup, breakouts and consolidation. Sometimes he will short like even if he's shorting, he's looking for, if you study like this is all there by just studying his like last 1 month posting, you'll see what is he looking for. It's all there, right? It's all there. Like what is he looking for? He's looking for like this thing, right? And then once he's in that trade, so he's here tight 2 days consolidation, and then he's entering, right? And here 2 tight days consolidation, he's entering, right? Basically. So what he does is in reality is he will have 8 stocks open. I mean, it's like he'll have 4 and 4, 8 charts open, right? And he's waiting for this consolidation. And once he looks at that consolidation or breakout, he gets into those consolidation breakout, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and continue doing that throughout the day. Sometimes you'll find 80 trades, sometimes you'll find 100 trades, sometimes you'll find 90 trades, or like sometimes like this thing. And how does he exit? He uses Fibonacci, right? So he uses Fibonacci level to exit, which is all there in the document. I'm not going to repeat everything in the document, but if you go through this document, that's what he does. So he sells. What does he like? Can I tell you? If you ask him, hey, PCB, how does one sell? He'll sell into strength. And how does he decide like in a sell into strength? He looks at the levels. If it reaches those Fibonacci level, he sells at that level. He sells at the next level. He sells at the next level, right? And he always keeps a small portion of his position. Small position he'll keep for longer. Sometimes he holds it for next day also. And that's all that is all there to his trading, right? And that is all there to his trading. There is no like basically his setup is TTTTT, and that's why you see like he's always posting that setup whenever he sees, right? Now watching 5 or Illumina watching, Google 15 Twitter bottom, SPY, like say here, this is what he has done, right? And he's shown, means like if you go through his 886 post, if you still don't understand his setup, right? That's like that's means every day he posts examples, right? Every day and real time, right? And they are posted in real time. So it's not as if like with clear charts, right? And with clear charts. So it just like looks for this pattern. That's his pattern. His favorite pattern, if you see, his number one pattern is this TTTTT, right? Seldom T. So it's like TTTTT. So either 3 tight bars, 2 tight bars, and that's his pattern. And it's a very good day trading setup. Because why is it a very good day trading setup? That's TTT2 is a very good setup. Why is it? Because risk reward is significantly in your favor, right? Now, if you find a TTT setup, right? As soon as he finds it, what does he do? He's waiting. As soon as it starts, he's not. See, one of the things which I really sometimes cringe when I get these emails from people, right? And they saying, look, I'm trying to day trade, and then this XYZ with whom I learned how to day trade and I did his course, he says, look, and I wait for the bar to come. So you wait for a complete bar to form for 5 minutes. That's too late. That 5 minute is like that 5 minute bar is itself what PCB would have already been looking at. He would have entered and he would have exited by the time you are entering. No, why is he doing this? He's watching this. He will be entering as soon as it shows a little bit of a life. Obviously, that's why he gets stopped out, right? But if he gets stopped out, see here, if he gets stopped out, it's very small loss, right? He's not going to be doing this. And if you just study like just this year's is this thing, right? You will understand. Look at what he's looking for. This is his setup, right? And he's looking for tightness. So which direction? And he'll be ready with either direction, right? So this is, I've just taken PCP as an example. I've studied all of these people, right? And I study all the members who are like profitable to see what you can learn from them, right? I'm just taking his example, but it is no different from many other people who did the same thing and similar thing. That's why our favorite setup is TTTTT, right? And 3 tight days or 2 tight days, or even for swing trading. The same principle works for swing trading, right? So he gets in, he exits, right? Now, here are the other keys which are very important if you want to become a day trader. Then stocks in play and a list of stocks, right? He's not scanning throughout the day. Unless nothing from his list is working, right? He's not going to waste his time scanning things, right? The next thing is how does he enter? And this is true of most day traders I know of. Most of the day traders I know of. How do they enter? Hotkeys. Okay. Because this is a game of speed, right? These are the things which you need to keep put in place. Fixed size. Does he wait? Does he look at like this chart and say, okay, now this is breaking out. My entry is going to be 44 point something. Then let me go to this position size calculator. I will calculate how many shares to buy. And this is where I'm going to, by that time, the trade is over, right? fixed size. So in the case of PCB, he trades stocks as well as options, right? And he does stocks and options, right? So if he's doing an options, he might have decided he's going to do a lot of 3. So he's just going to do a lot of 3. If it is a stock, I don't know what size he's operating with, but he might have decided he's going to do 400 shares or 1,000 shares. And that is it. I don't know who teaches all these things to day traders, new day traders. They're fleecing you, right? To telling you to calculate number of shares which you are going to buy. Means really for day trading, how is it going to work? Tell me. If you're any real day trader here who's really doing work and making money, do you really sit there and calculate for every trade how many number of shares you're going to buy using a calculator? Just doesn't work that way, right? And it just doesn't work that way. Fixed size, fixed hotkeys, and he's got more or less in his mind, right? More or less in his mind, he's got an idea about fixed amount of stop he's going to put on that trade. Right? So he's got like basically everything pre-thought, right? And everything is pre-thought. He knows where he's going to exit. He knows like he's going to exit at that Fibonacci level 1. He's going to exit some at level 2. He's going to exit some at level 3, right? So all that is pre-thought. He uses hotkeys, right? And that's it, right? What tools does he use? He uses TC2000. He uses Trade Ideas. What does he use in Trade Ideas? He uses the same scan that I use, which is the stocks in play, the stocks with momentum, right? And TC2000 Trade Ideas, and he doesn't use other things like, I don't think he uses any news sources or things like that, right? And he just does all this thing, right? And
Easy, a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
What did you write? Options 3. I didn't get that.
That means three lots of options you will buy. He trades option. When you trade option, are you going to buy one call, or if he has to do options, if he's going buying calls, he's going to buy 3 calls.
Yeah, 300 basically. Yeah.
It means like that's fixed. 3 or 5, I think. So that if it is a lower price stock, then he'll buy 10. He's not doing calculation, is what I'm telling you. It's a number of contracts. Yes, it's number of contracts which is going to buy. So he'll buy 3 contracts basically, right? He uses stops, right? And he uses stops, right? And he has a stop for the day. So if he loses 5,000, he just sits out the rest of the day. No, they are not doing this complicated thing called like bracket orders and all. They're not doing that. They're not going down there, right? They're not. And it's very simple. If you ask him, and people kept asking, why don't you do this? Why don't you use level 2? Why don't you? For him, right? He tried level 2. It doesn't work. He wants to keep it simple. For him, he doesn't use bracket order. For him, like he doesn't use any other news sources. He doesn't scan during the day. He's not even paying this thing, right? And basically, and that's all. And then doing this, just trading this one simple idea, right? Just essentially one simple idea, which is trading, which is TTTT, like a 2-inch kind of a setup on a lower time frame of 5 minutes, right? And means that's amazing returns, right? That's amazing returns. People will die to get that kind of a return in a year, right? Yeah, means then people say, oh, but like he will not be able to trade when he has 10 million. He will not be able to trade when he has 50 million. Yeah, but like that guy is smart enough that when he has 10 million and 20 million, he will find some other way to trade, right? They enter hotkey to exit, right? So think about it. You look at it, and all this information in significant detail with thousands of examples thousands of examples is here. So if you want to learn, you can spend 5 years like Prem spent, losing money, right? And frustrating, and looking at this, where is the list of high short interest? Where is this? Can you send me the list? Hey, how do I do narrow range scan and all? This guy is not doing all that thing. What he's doing is looking at 8 stocks on a monitor continuously, right? He's just looking at 8 stocks on a monitor, like in a something like this. He has like in a 2 computers with 4 stocks. So he'll have 8 stock he's looking at. Anything which looks like consolidation, he'll be all over it. And as soon as it starts breaking, he'll be in it. The moment it goes up, like he has everything set, right? And this is how everybody who does that works, right? They have the tools. So you need the tools. You need, in day trading, definitely you need monitors. Screen pace is very important, right? He uses monitors. He's not using DAS or anything, right? He's just using simple TC2000. He puts his like, and I think the broker which he uses is IB, and he uses Schwab, I think, and the Schwab E-Trade, I think he uses E-Trade, right? And he uses E-Trade, and he also does some longer term trades and things like that. For that, he uses something else, right? He's not using any platform or anything. He's a very basic, like he's not reached that level of like using these bigger. He's not even thinking, I think, and I don't know him. Like I haven't spoken to him in months. Like but this is what he does, right? So that's how you are like you can learn, right? So that like basically you can like and how you can spend a lot of time and effort going through multiple sites, multiple things. You just focus on this one guy because he's successful, right? He shows you. But the only thing you have to remember is don't ask too many questions which have already been answered. Means 100% of the question which people have about PCB trading have been answered multiple times, right? If you just go through the archives of his post and the comments on his post, he has answered multiple times, right? So is there anything information missing for you to make it work? No, right? And he does it real time, and there are people who are following him, like they just like every time there is like this thing, they just like these people are just watching him. They are not like thinking through how does he do it and can I do it myself. Those people should be finding their own these tight patterns and put in it, right? And basically, so there is just like you can like just look at all these things, right? And basically what he's doing, and from that understand, right? And I see here. So this is the problem, right? This is exactly the problem, right? This person who asked this question while he's trading, right? What did he do? Asked him a question which this person could have answered by just doing a research on a person, right? So imagine like this is the thing which is day in and day out I see, right? And I means that's why after some year, what happens after some year? These people just drop out, or they just like don't share anymore, and they just drop out, right? People ask questions which could have been answered very simply. If I am interested in trading like Jay London, right? What will I do? I will first figure out everything which is already there, right? And then do it. So most of the questions have been answered for this particular person. And hundreds of times it has been answered. Same is true of any one of these people. Same is true of any one of these people. You are going to go crazy if you go through all their posts, right? And they have shown you a template of how to make day trading work. Is that the most ideal way of day trading? Answer is no, right? But if they have shown you this, right? Is it easy to make this work rather than going reading books on day trading, going and doing courses on day trading? Is any course on day trading or bootcamp going to be more useful than what you see here? Tell me.
No.
No, right? And not everybody is going to answer all your questions in life, right? Rest of the question, you have to figure it out, right? And that's what life is about, right? That's what life is all about. You have to figure out all these things, right? By watching, by deductive logic, by doing some amount of elbow grease, right? And basically, and then putting in the work. And if you do this, and if you're really serious about day trading, in few weeks, you should be able to replicate everything which he's doing and be able to see the same setup that he's seeing in the same stock. Same stocks, right? Similarly, you can do things like I think currently in terms of sharing, in terms of like everything which he's doing, he's showing you. I think he's an exemplary example of like this thing, right? And it means other sites will charge you $100, $200, $300 per month for this kind of education, right? I know day trading sites which charge $300 per month. You people know, some of you are there, right? Nothing is below $100 per month nowadays in this business. People tell me, other people tell me, you are crazy. You are charging too low, right? So look at these people, right? What do? They have basically tools. If you are going to be a day trader, you need multiple monitors, right? You need hotkeys. Now, how do you set up hotkeys? Is there a place which is going to where you can go key maker in your town and like set up hotkeys? No, but like if you have a keyboard, right? And if you have ability to search, you'll find a blog post which explain how to set up hotkeys in IB. Means we have made your life so simple, but I cannot buy a keyboard and click this go for you, right? Here, how to set up hotkeys with detailed instructions on how to set up hotkeys is here. Every single detail as to how to set it up is here for IB, right? Means that's the platform which we use. That is not a platform. This is done again. This is done not by me. Like Jay did this. This is Jay Beam, the guy who's in the morning there, right? And who does this. So it's all information is there for you. Set up hotkeys, right? What software does he use? He uses TC2000 Trade Ideas. Most of the day traders, they will use Trade Ideas for that reason, because the Trade Ideas has like this thing. Then you come and ask, like people ask me very questions saying, oh, like, do you think I should get this software, that or software? My answer is always find a software which is used by most people for your style, right? The software which is most popular, most used, you're going to find it easy to use because already information is there. You find some exotic software, you're on your own, right? You're on your own. And it's a very basic process which this guy does. Similarly, if you study, like if you study Larry, right? What does Larry do? What does Larry do? Stocks in play, right? You'll see the same thing, right? Again and again. And nowadays, Larry doesn't post as much as he used to post. But if you see Larry also, he's been here for many, like he's been here for a long time, right? Larry has been like Larry stumbled into this site many years ago. Where is Larry? What's his name here? Now this guy, he's a newer guy I've seen. Like he's also a good day trader. He posts some good day traders. Sometimes I see him like posting Ahmadan, some guy who's there, right? AHA Maiden. So if you see Larry somewhere like stocks in play, right? Stocks in play. All these people are doing same thing. So if everybody is driving on the right side of the road and making money, and you want to ride on the left side of the road, whose problem is it? So here, 2012 onwards, he's been here, right? And see what he does. And you will know what he does, right? Same way, study Gallic, who is also there. Again, what does Gallic do? News, right? Fib Trader, this guy was there like many years ago, he was there. Somewhere you'll see that like there must be a lot of posts by Fib Trader. I don't think he's a member anymore. Like a lot of people just like after some years of answering a lot of people's question, just get tired and they decide that they will just like, or they find some other community or they set up their own site. So if you see between 2014 and 2017, if you see his post, right? He was one of the very prolific guys who was making posts probably in hundreds, right? Again, day trader, what is he doing? Just day trading, right? And I just day trading like crazy, basically. Short years, inward shoulder and shoulder, target is this much, BLFS number, so and so long years at stop point 0.01, 0.05, stop like this was just so he was like he was doing more like a years kind of a thing, right? Trading. Then you have like STKB 2009, very good trader, very good trader. Again, news, he's all over news, right? He's all over news. Now PCB has like dethroned him in terms of number of posts, but in the entire history of like basically this site, I think after my post or STKB 2009 might be having more posts than I have in the entire history of this site, probably. See, 11,000 posts, 11,000 posts, 12,000 posts, 10,000 posts, right? All this person. Again, if you want to know how he trades, right? If you want answer to it, you can go and see. I did I did send him this thing and asked him the question, and he's answered most of the things, right? But he's a man of few words, right? Because he's always hunting for dollars. So his answers for most questions are, I have never seen. Have you seen? Out of these, more than probably 80,000 or 100,000 posts, or probably 70 to 80,000 posts, STKB 2009 must have made, right? If you can show me one post which is a paragraph, okay? Can you show me one post of his which is a paragraph? Means the day, I'm not sure, like, and I have not seen a paragraph post, right? If the day I will see a paragraph post from STKB 2009, I think and I'll go and break 108 coconuts, right? 108 coconuts we'll have to break, because he's like, this guy is like, I asked him all these questions, right? His answers were like in a one word. I had to elaborate his answers, right? I sent him a questionnaire, questions from members saying, look, hey, can you answer these questions, right? And if you see somewhere his question and answers is there, right? And basically, or like I used to post it a lot of time, right? Fruit Ninja. Where is this STKB's question and answers thing? Somewhere is there. The way to find that will be probably the easiest way to find that will be Fruit Ninja, right? We used to call him Fruit Ninja. Where is the thing? Okay, so here is the set of questions which I sent it to him. What is your style? Day trading, scalping. How does he find his candidate? He just like he just says, he wrote back MTRT news. Okay. I wrote this paragraph. If you think that he wrote this paragraph, you're mistaken. He just answered all my questions with single words. Every single question he answered with one word. Okay. What scans he runs? Stocks up in pre-market, stocks up in after hours, earnings play, CNBC mentioned, real-time unusual activity. Right? What is FI? Several times in a day, he'll make a post like KLPD on FI, sheet on FI, or RWK on FI, which means the stock is setting up on a 5-minute chart or it is breaking out on a 5-minute chart. He doesn't even post. He'll just write Tesla FI, right? That's his short form, right? And this guy posts not only on our site, he posts on 2 other sites, right? Simultaneously, he's active on 2 other sites. How does he come out with target? Based on strength of catalyst or 10%, 20%, or some round number added to current price. If shit is trading, say at 50 and has announced earnings and he feels based on it will go up 20% for the day, he will say 60 as a target, or based on his guess or years of experience, primarily because he has done thousands of such trades, he has a feel for it. You cannot scientifically explain. You'll see that he's damn good at, right? The SPY will be at 400 and he'll say 420, right? He will keep saying 420, he'll keep saying 420. Or like Tesla will be trading at 300 and he'll say 330, 330. How does he do it? And people go crazy, right? It's just like he's adding some round number, or he just like says, it's like in a power of magical thinking, right? He just in his mind says Tesla is going to 330 and it's just like it goes to 330. And how many times it has happened? How many times STKB 2009 has given you a target and the target has been achieved? And not only for the day, he gives you a target for like, this is what is going to happen to SPY month down the line, right? And then it will happen and he will like, then he will remind you by capturing the screenshot of his post and saying, see, I told you it was going to go to this, right? Is that a skill? Is that amazing skill? Right? Why does he post his trade? It helps him focus on his trading. It is part of his routine. It is essential part of his trading. This is what many of these people have told me, right? This is part of their process. Posting on the site, looking at other people's posts is their means like it's essential to they being successful, right? If I get rid of some of these people or ban them, right? They will have withdrawal symptoms. They will not know what to do, right? And they will not know how to trade. So it's like that, right? Basically. Why doesn't he answer my question? Which is what like most people ask him question in the middle of like so that's where this Fruit Ninja came in, right? See, let us say you are a very good fruit ninja and cut 1,000 fruits in an hour like machine. Can you stop and explain to someone what are you trying to do? All you was thinking is the next fruit, right? So you ask him a question. Does he have a time to answer your question, or is he really focused on the next dollar and next dollar, right? What trading software do you use? I'm currently using Interactive Broker. Okay. What broker do you use? IB, eTrade Pro, and Merrill Lynch. What scan do you run? In addition to nighttime is right time scan, I am using Trade Ideas. Comes with eTrade Pro. Some of them are pullback from lows. Earnings today up 2% for today. Stocks on the move. Pre-market 5-minute consolidation. Breakout unusual volume. Right. Where do you put stop? Stops are anywhere from 1 to 1.5%. Some are hard. Trail. How do you calculate target? They are based on charts. Right. How many trades do you do in a day? 15 to 20 depends on the day. Right. What typical return in a month can a trader expect if he trades exactly like 1 to 1.5% day on a capital traded, right? How many computers do you use? 6 computers. What chart setting do you use? 5-minute chart, 9 EMA, but I valid sometime depending on the stocks. That's all. Like, it's like, and I used to post this multiple times, right? Earlier, STKB FAQ. So many of these people are like this, right? Many of these people are very good at what they do, but they cannot, like, they don't have the time to explain, and they don't have the word power, right? Means he has a limited vocabulary. The only word which he knows is phi. That's his favorite word, right? Phi is like an entire dictionary has one word, phi, right? And basically, and nowadays BTD, right? Nowadays BTD, right? But you can learn so much. You can learn so much by looking at his post. And the guy has made like some gazillion post here, right? Gazillion post he makes, right? And basically, and here is the surprising thing about some of these people, right? You know, PCB has a full-time job. He has a full-time job. He has a full-time job. And that's why sometimes he disappears, because that day, like, he has to do the job, right? And once in a while, he has to do the job also, right? Or job takes him on a travel. Then he just like, has to. So he has got this guy who's made 800 posts on timeline and who's making like 100K plus trading, right? Has a job, which I think, at best, I don't know like exactly where he's working and all, but I would take a guess that he's not making more than 15,000 for hauling his sorry ass to the office and driving to the office and sitting through some shitty meetings, right? And full-time work, right? So similarly,
And we need to find what kind of work he does.
I
That's
know what he does and all. I'm just not telling you, but like that's not important, right? And but the thing is that he can manage to do this, right? And so also that is the important thing. You have to figure out, look, are you cut out to be a day trader, or are you a person who's like a swing trader, or are you a position trader? Then you have to stick to that, right? Yeah. Some people have a personality for day trading, or they are very good at it, and they should stick to that rather than doing something. Both manageable. You can do both. Like a lot of these people do both, right? PCB does both. Even PK does both. Even like an STKB 2009. STKB 2009 scalps, right? He scalps. He day trades. He swing trades. And he position trades. The most famous mechanical day trader, not mechanical day trader, but most famous trader who's mechanical and who's got the best returns for last 20 or 25 years. He was featured in the Market Wizard book. Is still a StockBee member, right? MHP. MHP is the StockBee member who was featured in the Market Wizard book, right? And he's been doing it for 25 years. Marston Parker is his name. This guy. He was featured in the recent Unknown Market Wizard. He was he's still a StockBee member. He doesn't post nowadays, but he's posted a lot of things on mechanical trading. Like he was very prolific. He's posted like an n number of things. He's posted like means like he extremely helpful person, very helpful, very humble, and he helped so many people on this site. Unbelievable number of people he has helped. And this guy has like he was posting a lot, right? And he was posting all the time at that time, right? And basically last he posted it like if you see he's been around since 2013, right? He's not a day, means some of his positions are for a day, but like he's not really day trader, he's a mechanical trader. I don't know of any day trader who's mechanical here, right? And that's all these day traders are basically this thing. They are like discretionary day traders. Okay, so that is what it is. So if you study any one of these, right, Blue Sky, Thermos, right, and if you go and study Blue Sky, you will go crazy, right? You'll go crazy when you study Blue Sky or Thermos. Means oh man, where is Blue Sky? This guy was like the number of like I used to dread, right? I used to dread waking up in the morning when this guy was around on the site. Why? Because our person was like basically a complete this thing. Where is Blue Sky? Here. This guy, right? He's like a completely this thing, like he was damn good trader, right? He was damn good trader, and all that he used to do is as a side hobby while he's doing day trading is to like make people's life uncomfortable, right? Make people's life uncomfortable by getting into fights with them or posting some provocative things, or you say, look, and I got this setup, right? 2-inch setup. And the moment you say like this is the setup for which like these are the conditions, look, stock should be going up, should not be up 2 days, this thing. He will ask you 1,000 questions. He will ask you, did you test that? Did you try it instead of 2 days? Did you try 1 day? Did you try entering in the morning? Did you try entering at 9:35? Did you try entering at 9:35.40 seconds? He will ask you so many questions that you are forced to justify your system, and as a result of it we became better traders. If you ask Stock One and all these people, when he developed his swing setup, that tool setups which he trades, which is just a consolidation, buys in consolidation or buys after big move, right? And Scott One, and he just like drove people crazy, right? And then in addition to that, every day in the night he will post some political thing or he will just provoke people. And then every day morning I'll come and there'll be like a fight between him and some member, and they will be all like sending me emails saying, why don't you ban Blue Sky and all this. And my life was a nightmare. And then this guy disappeared, and lo and behold, right, Blue Sky disappears. And what happens when Blue Sky disappears? Because too many people had fight with him. So he disappears and he comes back as Thermos with a new ID, new account. And guess what he does? Guess what he does? The same thing, right? The same thing. But very good. One of the best traders I've seen, like very good. He was not doing this frantic amount of day trading, right? Yeah, his bro trips were like legendary bro trips, right? And his bro trips were like legendary. And some Indian guy who's an influencer in India, he joined the site, he copied all these, and he started using the bro tips, saying that he came out with these ideas on his own, right? And so this guy, like his day trading was not like these people's day trading, right? Everything which he was doing was more planned. And he would put like 5 or 6 day trade in a day and just like be done with it. Rest of the time he will be like basically converting like basically Bro tips must be there, like somewhere, like his bro tips were legendary. Some of those bro tips were like really legendary, and so anyway, all kinds of things, but his idea was to like, and basically like he was more like this guy, he was more like TGIF. Every trade which he was going to do for the day, he would have planned it out ahead of time. He would have like decided where he's going to enter. He will enter that trade, and he will do 8 or 10 trades in a day. And he's not going to be micromanaging. He will be, and then rest of the time, all the time, just stir the pot, just stir the pot, just stir the pot. Means that was all he was doing, just to keep himself busy. So because he didn't want to interfere with his trading, basically, right? And but a lot of learning you'll do if you go through it. Monis came in. Monis was trading something different. Then he saw this level being traded, and he perfected trading levels, right? And that was his thing, basically something which is like he has a set of stocks which are like near low. Then he'll be watching. Then he'll enter, and he's not necessarily truly a day trader. Part of it is day trading, part of it is swing trading, what he does. But he also has hundreds of examples of a post, right? And people used to ask him so many questions, right? And same problem, questions which he has answered multiple times, people used to ask multiple times, right? So he just decided to take time off and do it on his own, like basically in terms of more for less number of people, his relatives and all, rather than to do and answer thousands of questions which have been answered again, right? So that was his thing. Yeah, so these are his bro tips. If you want to impress the trader, use the phrase nibbled a few. Don't short stop when market monitor 5-day ratio is near 0 or below. Wait for a reliable daily oversold signal, then take intraday mean reversion long trades against that edge. So add up to profit from TI should be paid for TSM and add up to the losses of TI as TI to pay you. Use modify TI 30 to make market tape with window with your puff sound for a new high, new bong sound for new low. Yeah, he was a legendary guy on the side. But that's so if you study any one of these people, right? And I would say like study the more recent one, because they are more like immediately. Then you have a template. You know what works, what doesn't work. You know what to look for. You can find the same stock as what they are finding. You can do the same thing as that. And then rest of it is up to God and your own ambition to make it work, right? Means if you see a person do it successfully, and then after that, if you fail to convert it into workable thing, it is ultimately then there is some X factor which is beyond knowledge, which is responsible, right? That X factor might be something to do with your name started with R, so that might be the reason. Or like your name started with A and it has only one A in it, so you should go and add 2 A's to your name, kind of a thing, right? That's what people in India believe nowadays, right? They add 2 A's to their name, or they add 2 B's to their name. So any questions on day trading, right? On a day trading, all the information is here. Get yourself tools. Get yourself.
Hey, EG, I have a question about news plays. So let's say you're looking at the news in pre-market on briefing.com. What criteria can you use to evaluate the potential of that news catalyst? Because obviously some news catalysts are going to follow through, others, probably not. Are there certain types of news that tend to have better follow through?
See, the easiest way to find which thing is going to move based on news is to just see the reaction in pre-market, post-market, right? If the news is big news, the stock reacts to that news in pre-market or post-market. So you don't have to really make it very complicated, right? And basically all that you have to do is I come in here in the morning and I just look at pre-market, post-market movers and look at the one which has reacted to it. And I use my trade ideas to see how they are reacting, and that's it. Gapping up, down, Fox Factory after guidance, Shale after, this is what I look for, Fox Factory, right? So Fox Factory might have made a move yesterday.
EG, I've also heard you say
See
not
here.
to use OPG orders for NYSE stocks. I was wondering if you could talk about why that is.
So in the like an OPG stock, like in the NYSE, right, and in the NASDAQ, when you put a OPG order, right, in a NASDAQ is an electronic exchange, so there is no person sitting and doing any intervention, right? Orders keep coming in from buyers, and then there are sellers, right? And electronically it matches the books. So that's why you get a feel instantly on NASDAQ. Now in NYSE, it doesn't happen like that. NYSE, there is a person who's sitting at a computer, right? Yeah, but there is a market maker, right? So market maker can see what buy orders are coming in and all. So on NYSE, if there are a lot of buy orders, right, or if there are a lot of say sell order on Costco, supposing at the open, what the market maker is going to do is he's going to wait till he has enough, because he's going to take a risk there, right? And so he delays the open, and then he will open it at a level where he can get out. He can get out at profit, right? So there is a lot of these manipulation which happens on the NYSE, because the market maker is taking a risk against your trade, right? It means who's going to fill the order at OPG in a NYSE? Whose risk is it? The risk is the market maker's risk, right? The market maker makes sure that he's going to protect that risk, right? So as a result, what you see is on one, if you use and I'm not sure if you're a day trader, you really need to get into OPG orders and things like that, right? And I don't know any day trader who actually uses OPG order, right? And it means there are day traders who have a thing based on OPG order. That's a different story. But for a day trader, this is irrelevant question according to me. But what happens is, if it is an NYSE stock and there is news, and if you put a OPG order, one there will be a delayed open on that stock, right? Then in addition to that, it might open at some price, and as soon as it opens, it's going to start dropping. Because the market maker opens it at a price at which the max price which he can get away with, and then there is no buyer after that, and it drops. So it just one, because it is a delayed open, you are like put a order. When I put a OPG order on NASDAQ, instantaneously I get a feel, right? I get information. I can see what has happened. Here I'm waiting whether the order is going to, and you can't cancel an OPG order after that. So those are some of the operational factors. But it's a very minor problem, inconvenience for NYSE. And if your ambition is to become a day trader, I think OPG is something which you should not be even worried about, right? And I mean, it's like the good day traders here on this site, are they doing OPG, or they are just buying in pre-market itself? And do you think PK ever uses PK ever uses OPG orders?
No.
So that's exactly the thing. If you want to become a day trader, just imbibe all the thinking of day trader, right? And then stop being other things, right? He buys pre-market, not even pre-market. He buys when earnings comes out. He, STKB 2009, Larry, all these people, they'll be in that trade within 1 second of the earnings coming out, right? Most of the time they would have already, like in a Costco. When did he short Costco? If you see him like in a Costco, when did he short like in a Costco? What time was that post? It takes him time to make the post 4:24, but like it was in after hours, right? It was in after hours. So if you want to be a day trader, dress like a day trader, act like a day trader, poop like a day trader, eat like a day trader, shit like a day trader. Don't worry about other people then. Don't spend your time worrying about like CPI, CPM, this report, that report. No, you're just like do the things which day trader do. Yeah, it means I'm not against using level 2 tape reading, Fibonacci. Most of the day traders will also use support and resistance, VWAP. All of these things are fine to use in day trading as long as you can make 100K a month, right? I'm okay with whatever you want to use. Perfectly fine, right? And it means at the end of the day, day trading is a very unique personal skill to see a stock and make a decision instantaneously here that this is a buy, and then like get out at like $2 or $3, right? Whatever tools you need to do this work for you, whether it is level 2, level 3, some funny charts I see nowadays with some circles on it people are using. I don't even understand what they are, but like I've seen a lot of time Larry post those or PK post those. Whatever works for you, right? Whatever works for you. All that I want you to do then is to start hitting numbers like PCB, who without using all those tools can hit those kind of numbers, right? As long as you can do that, how does it make a difference to me whether you're going to trade with a stylus or whether you're going to like use this to press a button rather than like basically use hotkeys, right? And whatever works for you, whatever works, right? And basically whatever works for you. Absolutely, means all of those things, there are nuances which you have to learn, and as long as you can learn those nuances, I don't think there is anything wrong in using any one of those things, right? There is absolutely nothing wrong in using any one of those things. It's just a question of like can you make it work, that particular thing, right? And that's all. It means all those things level 2, I'm sure there is like you can make money using level 2. I have seen people like making money just like reading tape. I've seen people making money by just like putting some levels on their chart and buying at that level. At the end of the day, it's a pattern, right? It's some pattern, and as long as you understand that pattern and you just like can make it work, it really doesn't matter. The thing is, look, if you are planning to do day trading, then if you're going to dedicate your life to day trading, then you should be able to beat the pants of swing traders. Means convincingly, you should be able to beat our pants, right? And not just beat our pants by 5-10%, but by significant margin. For stocks in play, yeah, means that's an age, but like I'm not saying don't use SIP, but like there is an age, but like it's also a swing trader's age more than like anything else as far as I can see it, right? And so I don't know. It's like, is that really such a critical element? I really don't know, right? Basically, it's a very minor point in making it work, right? And it's a very minor point in making it work, according to me. I wouldn't spend my time worrying about like basically that kind of a thing. I would rather like spend my time worrying about the totality of day trading. Understanding is more important to me than like getting stuck on SIPs as the be all and end all game of like day trading. It is not. It is not even like I would say that it is like it's less than 1% importance to day trading success. Any other question? So do you have questions related to this? Because that's the key, right? And making it work, in order to do that, you have to really like basically be thinking about these things, right?
One question, Pradeep, I have. So since you don't do it, maybe you don't know the answer, but I'm trying, like you all, you have told many times in other previous meetings we do daily, that the most of the action happens in the first half an hour, or you can say up to 11 o'clock, 11:30. But do these day traders, they keep doing these trades and make money in the later half of the day around the close?
And they all like, and if you find a stock in play, that is why they primarily focus on stocks in play, because the stocks in play is going to be working throughout the day. If you trade a normal trade stock, all the action will happen in the first 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour. And after that, it will go into dead zone during the lunch. But if the stock is in play for that day, and it is attracting a lot of people for that particular day, then what is going to happen is that particular day, the stock is going to have action throughout the day. And that is one of the reason why you should select a stock in play, right? The reason to select a stock in play is exactly that, because you want to see the, isn't this chart looking wrong to me? This is looking completely, oh, this is because this is 5 minutes, right? So if you have some stock which is in play for the day, right? So then there is going to be an action throughout the day. Otherwise, it just goes into a dead zone during the afternoon. And that's why do you think these people trade things like Microsoft, like say yesterday was in play, right? There's some news on Microsoft, or Google was in play on Thursday. It had opportunities to make money throughout the day, right?
I missed Microsoft yesterday.
Yeah, so
Well,
like
then.
Microsoft or Google had a news in the morning, right? And some news which was there. So as a result, it was in play throughout the day. There are multiple opportunities to find trade. I think, and I would highly recommend everybody to read the document by PCB, and then you'll have much better appreciation of things, because that's like, that document is going to give you a lot of idea, right? And that's going to give you like so many ideas, because you're going to be like basically completely blown away by the detail which he has provided in that particular answers. Obviously his trading has evolved, some of his trading has evolved since then. He's become like a more he might have added some more nuances and things like that, but that's a constant process, right? And that's going to be a continuous thing. So I wouldn't say that that is the main thing. Basically what you're looking for is the basic principle on which he operates, right? And once you understand that, life is easy. Life is always easy once you understand something. And once you understand something, it's always easy to make things work once you understand the things, or you understand once you understand the principle of trading, life is always easy. Unfortunately, that is where things fall into thing, because you can get stuck on a minor point. And this is where so many of the people get stuck on a minor point, and then they are spent so much time on a minor point that they don't totality of it. What is this game about? What is this day trading game about? To focus on stocks in play, to focus on some of these stocks which are constantly in play. Means like Nvidia, Tesla are more like stocks in play for months kind of a thing, right? And then realize that there is a pattern, right? He's not going. Have you seen PCB going and buying? Means I'm not saying he would have never done it, but how many times have you seen that a stock is gapping down, PCB is going and buying that? Does he do? Have you seen that he doing? No, right? He is very clear. He is trading in the direction of the trend, right? He wants to trade in the direction of the trend. And that's the only thing which he keeps doing, right? And he only keeps doing things which are basically in his will circle, right? And that's the key, right? He only is going to have rasam for dinner and look for a TTT setup. Those are the things which are important to him, right? TTT to Lynch. Trade in the direction of the trend, right? Upward trends only mostly. He's not even going and doing aggressive amount of shorting or things like that, right? So he is very well defined box in which he plays, right? He doesn't trade outside of that box. If you looked at Tumblr, Tumblr was also doing stocks in play, and he was only focused on finding some. All these people, they name their setup some exotic names. So I think Tumblr used to call his setup some Indy 1, Indy 2, and things like that and all. But at the end of the day, if you understand the logic behind those setup, it was just like basically a directional play. It was just a directional play, basically. Completely a directional play, basically. A lot of day trading successes are like, what that guy, what's his name? Bernstein, right? And who's like he made like 10 million a year day trading. That's the legend, right? And basically, so what does he say? The right side of V, right? The right side of V, in other words, is just basically you trade a continuation setup, right? Means what does this guy do? He trades only continuation setup, right? He only trades a continuation setup, and that's his specialty. That's all he does. What does he do? He trades continuation setup, right? And he only trades continuation setup. And that's like how you become good in this game. This game is about specialization, not trying everybody's method, not setting agenda saying, look, I want to be a Kelvin Wong also. And why do you think Kelvin Wong was not participating? Because he wanted to do his own research, he wanted to do his thing, and he just wanted to be the best in terms of position trading, doing EP, right? So that is the way you have to approach the problem. And once you approach it like that, you will see that it's a relatively, because you're operating in a very narrow kind of a world, then it becomes relatively easy to make it work. If you operate with a very broad kind of a thing, I'm trying to make this work, that work, that work. A lot of these people who are trading these stocks in play, right? And means they start playing the stocks in play in pre-market itself. So they are not really worried about OPG and shit like that. That's for like old people like me who are not fast enough to get into trades, or who don't get up early, right? And basically, that's like for the senior citizens, right? And that's not like in day trader setup. Day traders will be on that setup 10 times before the market opens, right? They would have made, like, look at Larry. Larry sends me many times like his this thing saying, oh, I made like this pre-market, like he will be up 30-40,000, and that much he will be up before I even put in a trade, right? Even before I put in a trade. And then he will complain saying, hey, EG, see, it was sucked. The day sucked. Why did the day suck? Oh, I only made 100,000. I didn't make like it was possible to make this much in this trade, but see, like I screwed it up. I mean, see, yeah, you only made 100,000. One day he sent me like saying, oh, I only made 160,000. Yeah, shitty day, right? Yeah, 160 is shitty day, right? That's really. Right. So means you have to be you have to really be getting into that. If you want to become a day trader, there is no halfway measures, right? There is no halfway wager, basically, right? So there is no like a halfway things kind of a thing. You just like have to do it with full passion, right? With not like I'm just going to try this out as a side project, or I'm like just going to freelance as a this thing. No, you go head on and then just do it, right? And what capital? Like I think Larry is Larry must be anywhere between deca million to a centimillion, right? And basically, so yeah, around 10 million or like, I don't think Larry has problem of capital, right? And Larry doesn't have a problem of capital probably. He's made a lot of money and all of it, most of it, by just trading stocks in play. And then people say, oh, stocks in play don't work. This doesn't work. That doesn't work, right? Yeah. I know it doesn't work, right? And you should not do it. Let only PCB and all these people do it. Okay, any questions? Questions related to day trading, only related to day trading, okay? Related to especially day trading like PCB or day trading like. Yeah, but that's why you'll see that like people like this thing, PCB and all, he's very consistent. And why is he consistent? Because he keeps the same size, right? And if he buys 400 shares, he's going to buy only 400 shares, right? Obviously, he's made a lot of money, right? And he's not increasing his accounts unless he's done it recently. He's not increasing his account size. He's like, what is the worst thing which will happen? He will lose 35,000 in a month, right? And so all those things are making sure that he stays in the game longer term and he makes this thing, right? And I don't know what he does with his other money. I think he does swing trading, he does position trading, but that's the way to approach it, which is like you have a certain buying power and then you just keep on like going for that size. He's not going to buy 100 lot of calls like other people do. He's going to just do like basically 1 million for day trading is not a big amount. 1 million for day trading is not really big amount, right? It's not really like, it's not as if like it's big. People like Larry and all, they trade with significant amount of more capital than that, right? And they did trade. So you're just buying 5,000, 10,000 shares or 20,000, 30,000. If you see even Moniz used to buy 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 shares, right? And he used to operate with 5,000 lots, 6,000 lots or 6,000 lots he will buy. And then immediately he will sell those. So size is not a problem. Like many of these people like that Bernstein guy and all, they must be trading with like a 25 million, 30 million. I don't think anything up to 25, 30 million for day trader. Obviously your opportunities will be limited and all. You'll have like some this thing, but you'll be like in a basic. Yeah, and also remember when we say stocks in play, right? And the way I play stocks in play, which I'm just looking for entry in the morning and then making my money and getting out. That is not how day traders understand stocks in play. Stocks in play for a day trader is he's going to trade that stock multiple times in a day. So he's not just dependent on entering his OPG and sitting there. He's going to enter it multiple times, or he will enter it, he will get out. Again, it sets up, he's going to enter it. How do you think they do 80, 100, 200, 300 trades? What is the way in which they can do 80, 100, 200? Tell me. There is no way they can do 80, 100 and all those kind of trades if they are just like doing it one time. And so your understanding of SIPs, the way I trade, is not the same as what day traders do. Day traders are going to trade. Some of them don't even do OPG. Some of them wait till 10 o'clock once the thing has been established and then only trade that particular setup. So educate yourself on what OPG really means for a day trader versus how we are trading. You remember, like I'm not really a day trader, right? And I do OPG just for fun, right? And basically, so that's a very different thing. 1K account and all day trading, I would not even recommend. If you have to do day trading, I think you need to have at least 35,000 in US to make it work. 1,000 and all those challenges those people put in, I think a lot of it is like just then crazy amount of risk. Just put in like all your money into this kind of a thing. I think I'm not a great fan of that. That's like a very stupid way to do things. So I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I wouldn't recommend that to even my enemy, right? And that's like that's pure gambling. That's like there is no risk control. They have no idea what they're doing. There are a lot of people who do this. Why do you think they trade with 1,000 and show it growing to 40, 50,000? Because they want to attract subscriber, right? That's the game basically. They don't mind if they lose that much amount of money. So they're gambling, right? And that's a degenerate gambling kind of a attitude to trading. If you look at like in a PCB's question and answer, is he doing a degenerate gambling kind of a thing, or is he doing a very methodical game in which he wants to be in this game for years to come? Why do you think he sweeps the profit out of his account? Why doesn't he keep the profit and like in a trade with higher size and things? Because he wants to be in this game for longer, at least that's my understanding. Obviously, I have not spoken to him about it. And it keeps his main check. He puts in like say 300,000 account, right? And he loses 100,000. He'll be a mess, right? He lost a lot of money. He'll not be able to think. He'll not be able to sleep well at night. So he's just doing a very controlled experiment where what he's doing is just controlling his complete risk. In case worst case scenario, what is he going to lose? He's going to lose 30,000 or 35,000, right? He will start all over. So that's the thing to it. What other questions you have? Understand, stocks in play doesn't mean the way I am trading stocks in play. Stocks in play means that stock is in play for the day. So during the day, every single opportunity which shows up on that stock, every single opportunity, every single setup which shows up, these guys are going to play, which is very different from how I play, right? I'm not a day trader. Again and again, I repeat the same thing. So I'm not an ideal example of things which you should be looking for in a day trader. That's why I'm saying study people like PCB and study people like that, right? And that's a very different technique. They are just going to take that stock and every single setup on it, they will be play. Yeah, with very tight stops, right? And a very tight stops. Means if you ask PCB some of this question, he must be operating with extremely tight stops, right? And not like in a big things basically. So if you can do that, right, then there's a lot of possibilities can open. But again, it's a difficult game. It's not an easy game, even though there are templates available. But these templates can save you a lot of time if you make your mind free of all the other distraction and forget everything else, right? And you don't need like, and I don't think PCB spends time looking at earnings play and things like that, right? He's just looking at what is gapping up, gapping down, and what is in play, and that's it. STKB 2009, he's a great fan of. If you ask him, hey, how do you find good stocks to play? He's going to give you immediately one-word answer, right? And what will be his one-word answer? Yeah, they do hard stops. NTRT, MTRT, right? He will say NTRT, MTRT. He's a great fan of NTRT, MTRT. He will just say NTRT, MTRT. And that's how he finds. So, and he consumes so much news, like it's unbelievable. The amount of news he consumes is so unbelievable. You'll see that like sometimes I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I would see 5 or 6 posts by this guy at that time period. So this guy is like I don't know if he sleeps or whether he never sleeps or what does he really do, right? And you must have seen that multiple times, right? You get up and there'll be 10 posts by him in the night. So he's a superhuman, right? Means like that's what makes you a good day trader also, right? Most of these day traders, till they make money, they have only one thing in life, right? And do you think PCB has any other thing in his life but day trading? Means he has a job and kids and wife probably, hopefully, right? And we are making conjectures. I will ask him when I talk to him, but like basically everything is about just One thing, and that one thing is what? Life dedicated to day trading, right? That's how they make this money. That's how they make this money. And that's how you can become a good day trader if you want to. Everything which I've done in day trading, swing trading is same thing, right? And a same thing. Look for a stock which has a continuation setup, TTT, TT, and 2 inch. Breakout, bottom bounce, or consolidation bounce. That's the only thing. Anticipate or fade. The only setups which I would look at is a fade or a TT continuation setup, and that's the only thing. Nothing else. But that is the only solution to becoming profitable, basically. That is the $1 million secret. Continuation setup. So trade in the, or what that guy calls right side of V, which is like a continuation setup, right? And basically. So any questions you have? And if you have questions for PCB, I will make a post on, like, if you have questions for PCB, you can put it there, and I'll ask him to answer them sometime, right? And it's not emergency, right? And no question of your, I think, and you should also only post questions after going through his thing, right? But I will ask him to answer your question as much as he can answer, right? And if you have any questions about like day trading in general, I think I'm more than qualified to answer many of your questions, because I've seen many of these day traders. I know them personally. I've spoken to them, like, and a PCB has come to boot camp. So I know him, like, and I know him personally, like personally in the sense I know at least how he looks and what he does and whether he eats rice or whether he eats rasam, right? Yeah, means you can use 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, whatever makes you money. It doesn't really matter. PCB uses 5 minutes, PK uses 1 minute. This Tumblr guy was using some 15 minutes. Earlier he was using 5 minutes. Then he developed some setup on half an hour, 1 hour. Gallic uses, I think, 5 minutes or something. So Larry uses some 1 minute. So it's just that basically. Yes, key is stock selection, and also like the key for PCB is to find point where his stop will be very close, right? The thing about PCB is why he likes this setup so much is like then he can take just few cents risk, or he can like put a stop of 20 cents or 25 cents and make a thing. 1 or 2 cent stops are too tight. I don't think it is going to work with 1 or 2 cent stops unless you are a scalper. I do not think it will work with a 1 or 2 cent stops, right? I don't think so. They are too tight, right? Okay, what else question do you have? There is a set of videos which I did on day trading also, for whatever worth. You can look at them, but I think better than looking at my videos is to look at what PCB is doing on a daily basis and try and understand what he's doing, why is he doing, when is he doing, how is he doing, right? And what kind of a result he can get, right? Return expectation for day trader, if you don't have like an experience, then you lose money every month. And if you can do what person like this does, generally in my experience of doing this for 23 years, right, I have seen the good day traders, they will beat the pants of a swing trader by like a wide margin, right? Wide margin. And also the second observation which I have of after interacting with traders for 23 years, the people who are obsessed to know how much I'm going to make before starting to do things don't even make it. Invariably, the people who are like, call me and say, can I make 5 million, 10 million, or can I make 1 million in a year? Can I make 100,000 a month? For whatever reason, they never make it. And people who have process related questions, people who have questions which are more related to like, okay, how do I put a stop and all, they make it, right? It's amazing in this business why this happens, but that's how it is. Yeah, but the people who get obsessed with that kind of a thing are like, I don't know what is the reason, but I've seen that so many times that like it's unbelievable, right? Basically, just do the process, right? And be process oriented. Just follow a process. Keep refining the process. Keep refining the process. Keep refining the process, and one day you are surprised by the amount. I'm sure, like, and if you ask PCB, he was surprised when he hit a 6-digit number first, or like if you ask Jay, right, and he hit like more than $1 million profit, he was surprised by it, right? And but like, was he like obsessed with making more than 1 million profit, or was he obsessed with the process? It's a byproduct, right? And it's a byproduct. It's a byproduct of like basically doing the things. So that's the thing. But like unfortunately, means most of the questions which I get is like, how much can one make? I want to sign up for your service. Can you tell me how much will I be making? Or like some guy whom I met, like who says like, I've got this much money. Can it be guaranteed that I'll make 4% per month? So yeah, it's like 4% per month guarantee. Yeah, if you get into drug business, guaranteed more than 4% per month, right? Do you think like PCB doesn't have bad days, bad months, bad week? Yes, he has, right? But he just like a machine. He shows up every day. He just keeps on doing it. Purpose of the right. That's what it is. Okay. Any other questions? And with that, I was looking for a picture which I wanted. That guy was looking for an aspiration. So I was looking for a picture, right, of a member many years ago, like not many years ago, some couple of years ago, he was a member. He was doing, he learned day trading. He was doing well. And then I asked him like, how is it going? Right. So he sent a picture, or he posted a picture of like, he's sitting in Costa Rica, seaside, right, with a top model looking girlfriend on his lap, right, and day trading from there. So that's also possible, right? That's also possible. And for the ladies, you can also like it's the same way, opposite way. So everything is possible aspirationally, right? Aspirationally, everything is possible. If I can find that photographs, I'll put it there, but aspirationally it's possible, right? Okay, I will see you people sometime later, not today, but like maybe tomorrow or over the weekend for like more focused discussion about swing trading, right? And this was day trading for those who want to join the day trading thing and overtake PCB's mantle of largest number of posts or like in a largest number of things, or making not 100K, but making 200K, 300K a month, right? Then that's for you. Okay, I'll see you people sometime tomorrow. For those of you who are interested, it's always for those of you who are interested.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, let's go.